All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Heayman podcast. And today I'm your host, Cosmic Heayman, of course. And today I'm going to talk about stagnation and why that's a very important topic to talk about, not only just for young people, but for anybody at any point in life, There'll be, there'll be a lot of points where, you feel like you hit like a wall or you feel like you've hit like a stop sign in life and like you just don't know what you should do moving forward. And I definitely know a lot about just what it feels like to not only feel like lost, but like just very stagnant in terms of like you could say like self development, self improvement, or you could say with things in life that you want to see progress in and you're just not seeing anything, whether it's in sports or whether it's for acting or anything like that. There's times where you definitely feel like you're not making any progress. And I definitely know that that's something that I've started to see like a lot, and even in myself, there's certain points where it'll like hit me and I'll notice, I've done all this and all that, but I kind of feel like I'm starting to kind of like dip a little bit. And that's okay because there are obviously going to be times in life where like you need that rest, you need that day off to recharge your batteries and get back on the boat, and get right back to the action. And I definitely think it's an important topic just because stagnation can also be a thing where some people in life they don't know how to maneuver it. They don't know how to move forward, or maybe they weren't taught by parents or by friends where they just stay stuck, and that's what their life has a result of just you know not too much self development, not too much anything in life, since they're just stuck in that area. And I thought it would be important to talk about just in case that someone out there has gone through it or is going through it, and wants to hear the message and hopefully it like inspires people because with so much happening in the world, it would make sense that a lot of people would feel stuck, especially with the virus and different things that have happened over the last year. I'd get how a lot of people, with loss of jobs, loss of family members, loss of businesses. I definitely understand how it feels to be stuck, and I empathize with people that are going through it and have been through it and are willing to help others too, because it's a scary thing, when you're stuck or you're lost and you kind of fear like what to do, like how do I move, how do I get past this? And I know last year it just hit a lot of people pretty hard, because the future for some people did look pretty uncertain, with all the things that were happening with just not only the virus, but with like, you know, different groups and different political things that were happening. And I'm talking about the Western world for the most part, it's not from America, but a lot of stuff was happening where a lot of things looked like there was like a smoke screen. You couldn't tell what the future was going to hold. And I know a lot of people were worried, but we made it to 2021. We made it to another year, all of us, and I'm very blessed to be in a great position and be in a position to not only help others, but also, just help the people around me and have them help me and just continue to grow, I'm a very fortunate and blessed person. I'm not trying to boast or anything. And I'm just happy that, we all made it through last year. Now we're on an even better course towards where we need to be, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And even when you feel stuck, I feel like there's a reason why you're there. There's a reason why there's a stop in your life for a bit, whether that's with jobs or with relationships or with friendships or anything in life. There's a reason why sometimes it feels like the gas pedal was pulled, was pushed down on. And I definitely want to, I just want to say that, like, I definitely think the future for all of us, if you look at it right, if you have the right perspective, the right ideas, the right people around you, and the right, like, self love and self care, that, like, anything that happens to you, you can handle it because you put all that time and effort into yourself to build yourself up to have that, sturdy foundation where things happen to you in life, you can handle it, And I'm a very optimistic person, I like to look at both sides, but I'm also one, and I've worked on it. It took me a long time, and I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to grow as a person because I used to look at stuff from a very bad lens, anything in life. Like, if something were to happen or if something went wrong, I blame myself for it or I'd blame someone else or something like that. I'm 20 now, but back in my teens, I just noticed that, like, I wasn't too optimistic. I never really took the time to see the good, to see the small things that were being done, to see the how important, like, those small things really are and how that really does matter, especially moving forward as you look to your hopefully your future self where you want to be and your future life and the people around you, because having an idea of where you're going is very important to actually help burst out of that, that cycle, that stagnation, that stoppage in your life. And having a vision, having all that good and bad that's ever happened to you or that is happening to you, use that as a tool and use it as fuel to catapult yourself even closer to where you need to be in order to reach your goals, in order to achieve your own, your own success, subjective success, because success is different for everybody. I know most people want to be rich, have a bunch of girls, or and maybe have a bunch of cars or a bunch of houses, who knows what, bunch of boats. There's a lot of people that have, different successes. Maybe some people just want to travel the world and see different places and cultures. Maybe another person just wants to help people. So that's like the cool thing about your uniqueness, especially in terms of your perspective and your own view of your own success. And I think that once you can find what your subjective success is and what you think it should be, and you match that with whatever you actually believe your purpose is and the reason why you're on this earth, I feel like that truly makes you almost close to whole as a person. Because you have two things that are aligned perfectly together, your purpose and your own subjective success. And I feel like that'll even further you into getting out of any place where you feel like you're stuck. But to keep in mind, there might be multiple different points moving forward where this can happen again. And when it does happen, you'll be more prepared, you know, you'll be more vigilant, you'd be experiencing a lot more in life so that you can handle and prepare for that stuff better as, you grow up. And this is something that really wasn't taught to me. This is something that I figured it out through other people's lives and what they've been through. And I also just figured it out from my own mistakes, my own successes, to get me to this point where at the age of 20, I have a little bit of wisdom, but when it comes to wisdom, I'm still like an adolescence. I'm still a baby. I'm still like learning a lot about not only myself, but the world around me and like where I fit into it and what my purpose is. And I have figured out my purpose and my subjective success. You know, right now I'm just trying to lay the foundation to get to it. And sometimes I do backstep, sometimes I do backslide, but you know, at the end of the day, I have to take it seriously and I have to definitely continue to just improve daily, improve myself, my life, mentally, physically, spiritually, all that. And that'll get me one step closer to where I need to be. Even with all the mind games that my own mind plays on me, because we all have that double side of us, the side that wants to do great and the side that wants to just chill, procrastinate, have doubts, have fears. I have both of those. I'm not afraid to admit it, and I'm actually glad that there's two sides to me, the one that does great and the one that wants to delve into just doubt, to fear, to pain, to suffering, because I feel like with those two things, that even matches you up even more to being whole, right along your purpose and your subjective success. And I think once you can use everything that you've experienced in life, from your past to your present, and then knowing what's going to happen, not knowing, but being prepared to what's going to happen in your future, whether good or bad, use that all as experience to further your own growth and pretty much, like I said, catapult you to being one step closer to your best self and your best life. And I feel like that honestly should get you, you know, out of that stagnation, out of that hole, and start to climb out of it. Because it's helped me a lot, you know. And last year, with everything going on, with the world, just with everybody's lives like changing, you know, I definitely feel like I learned a lot more about myself than in any year of my entire life, you know. Like 2020 was a big year for me. It was a big step where I needed to be, you know? It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't easy, but I get that, everything that everybody's gone through personally was one step closer to where we needed to be. As hard as that must, as hard as that sounds, or I'm not trying to be like not empathetic. I'm just saying that like no matter what you went through, if you lost your business, if you lost someone, you should use that as fuel to carry on what they did or continue to get that business back, continue to put in that work, continue to help your community. And last year, I know I feel like I grew a lot last year. I'm very thankful for that growth that I had, and it was something that was like it was a beautiful thing because I realized how much I knew, how much I didn't know. Sorry, how much I didn't know about myself. You know, I mean, I've been alive for 20 years, but it wasn't until like I was 19, moving on to 20, where like I really kind of figured out who I really am. Like I've always had morals, I've had virtues, values, I've always had all that, but it's like truly understand it. That was like the big thing for me, and I'm still learning a lot about myself to this day. And I'm still growing, I'm still changing, I'm still trying to fix myself and better myself as time goes on. And I'm very thankful that change is a possibility that any human can undergo. It's a beautiful thing when you realize how impactful change is, no matter what stands in the way of that. Whether it's stagnation or depression or anything, there's always that one card you can pull that's very important, and it's that one card of change that can turn the entire game around. And, I'm just thankful that at a young age, and I think I've always known about change. Um, it wasn't until 2016 where it was something I looked into a lot, but I kind of had like a self delusion that I was changing. So I'm not gonna say. I mean, 2016 is where the journey started, but I think it truly, truly started where I actually started to see the progress and the action that I talk about. I truly saw that around last year, if not a couple months before 2020. So I mean, it's, 16, 17, 18, 3 years of knowing what to do. I still, I knew the knowledge, I knew how to apply it a little bit, but I wasn't seeing that change that I wanted in myself, or in my life. So I'm glad that, like, things happened, things got shook in my life. Things changed to get me to the point where I am now. And I'm one step closer to where I need to be and not one step back. And I know everything will work out the way it should, and it will work out great. I don't know the future. I don't know what will happen to me, or what happen to people around me or my life, but I don't know. I have this intuition, this confidence that like this vision that I see for myself, for my life, the people that I want in it with me, and the people that I could help. I feel like that's something that can't be shaken. You can be tested. I'm definitely gonna be tested even more as life goes on, but I feel like that vision I have for myself and my life, it's like that's something that no one can take away from me. Because that's who I am. That's my essence. That's what my purpose is. That's what my subjective success is. And even with stagnation, even feeling stuck, even feeling sad, even feeling mad, or whatever I feel, good or bad, I feel like all that is just one step closer to getting me where I need to be. And I don't really bring up, what other people have done to me. I really feel like that's never held me back. Even if sometimes my mind wants to blame stuff on other people because it feels good, because it feels right, because they made a mistake, so they deserve the judgment. They deserve my inner wrath or my bad thoughts. Like, I don't know, I kind of grown out of blaming people for stuff. Even if they excuse me, even if they blatantly did something. I've gotten to the point where only time I blame anybody for anything is if I feel like betrayed or like lied to or just dishonesty. But most of all, one thing that I look at the most is just myself. And I'm not being selfish, not being prideful, but I like to look at my own mistake more than others because I like to look at myself and say, hey, you did this wrong. You could have spoken to this person better, or hey, you could have been. I'm not a bad person. I'm just saying. I'm using an example. Like, hey, you could have been nicer. You could have had different facial expressions, or you could have done, this and that and the other. So I like to look at myself and look at my own mistakes before anybody else's, and take accountability. You know, for my own actions, for my own thoughts, and all that. Because without your own self accountability, how can you even continue to say that you're growing? How can you continue to move forward if you're only taking back steps, if you're not taking accountability? And that even goes into helping, or when something happens to someone else. Maybe you hurt someone's feelings, or maybe you spoken out of left field, and that must have hurt someone. I think it's important to take accountability for not only yourself, but for your actions towards other people as well. So outside of yourself into a new realm. So that's definitely how I see accountability and that progress. And like I said, I'm just glad to be at a be at such a young age to really have this like wisdom and to share it with you guys. Maybe it helps you guys, or maybe you guys can use this to help others, because you know it's a beautiful thing. I don't know. It's great to talk like this. It's great to have like, oops, excuse me, that's my chair. It's great to have like no walls or no barriers, and just say like, yeah, I'm not the greatest person that's ever lived. I'm not the nicest. I'm not the meanest. But I am who I am, and I am doing more for myself that I could be better. And that's pretty much how I see myself. I'm not a saint. I'm not, spectacular by any means. I am I'm Larry. I'm me. I'm Cosmic Heayman. I am who I am. But I'm not willing to always stay at the bottom. I'm not willing to always be at my worst. I'll slip up, and I have slipped up, and there'd be times in the future where I will, but I'm always going to keep pushing myself, pushing those limits, you know, in all areas of life, because I feel like that's important. And other than that, it's like, I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing to have that realization at such a young age. And I definitely owe it to a lot of people that's helped me get to this point. Uh, some of this stuff I figured out by myself, and some of this was stuff I figured out through other people, and I'm glad to have the things and have the people in my life to get me to this point. And I'm very fortunate. But definitely, let me know what you guys think of this topic, of change, of stagnation, and all that. Let me know what you guys think about all of this, the process of life, and what you're going through, and how you're handling stuff, or where you're at. Very, open to talking about anything. So let me know what you guys think. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share down below, and I'm very excited to talk to you guys. And I will see you guys in the next podcast. You guys have a good one.